My name is Pride Nganje, author of Discipline is Key, Uncovering the Secrets of Violence. Why the title Discipline is Key and Uncovering the Secrets of Violence? Because we as parents have forgotten where we come from, how we were brought up. As a result of that, it gave me a clear picture on how we have to raise our children. I remember far back, 7 years ago, I was stabbed by a 12-year-old boy. And when he was arrested and asked, why did he stab me? He had nothing to say, but just because he wanted to rob me. A 12-year-old boy. Now living in the Cape Flats, such as Elsie's, Bonteville, I have seen the youth shooting each and every one, no matter who you are. They kill themselves. Now tell me, the question is, where are the parents of these children? Are the parents giving up on their children? Discipline is Key is all about calling the parents to come together and take responsibility of their children. Parents need to be a role model of their children. Now what we need to know is, parents, we have the power to change the world. And all we need to do is to take responsibility of the children that we have.
I was in an abusive relationship and I was beaten. I was verbally abused. I was molested within my family by a member of a family. So sometimes it's not a stranger. And our young little girls are being targeted. I was targeted when I was a young girl. So we need to speak of these things and we need to be cautious and aware of these predators. We need to look for the signs and be aware when our little children is quiet and distant. These are signs that is telling you that there's something wrong. And that is why us as parents, we need to be alert. We need to have good relationships with our children and allow our children to be open and feel comfortable enough with their parents in order to speak up. I did not have that close relationship with my parents. And that is why I felt the need to keep quiet and not speak up. Only years later, when I developed a stronger personality, was I then able to speak up of my own experience. Another thing is also, parents, you need to be responsible and not just think of yourselves when you have children. My father was an alcoholic and he was so lost in having fun and entertainment that he missed that small opportunity to be involved in our lives and know what is happening. So hopefully my experience in my life can teach someone else. And that is the reason why we wrote this book, so that parents can be alert when there are predators out there.
Coming from a broken home, my dad was an alcoholic. I was 7 years old when I realized that my mom was always being abused. And this took so long that it's only now I am coming up to speak about it. My mom suffered a lot, and at the end of the day, she divorced my father. So coming from a broken home, it gave me a clear picture that it is not easy as a father. But when you have a child, you need to take responsibility. And when I grew up, I met my dad. I said, Daddy, why did you always beat my mother? Why do you always abuse her? And he told me, my son, I am very sorry of what I did. And he explained to me as like a child. My son, I grew up from a broken home. My father was an alcoholic And guess what? He brought that in his own house. So that gave me a clear picture that the way we raise our children, they pick up some of the events that the parents do. And my dad lost my mom because my mom divorced him. So that gave me a clear picture. Discipline is key. Raise your children not for you, but for the world, to be a better place for all of us.
The reason why I decided to leave that toxic relationship and that abusive relationship was, I looked at my little boy one day and I immediately realized that I'm no longer on my own. I'm now a mother. And for me to raise a respectable man, to no longer to respect other women and not to lift his hand up for other women, I need to remove myself from that toxic relationship and say, enough is enough. I'm no longer going to entertain another man beating me. And that is what I would like to encourage you, all women. You have so much strength inside of you. You don't know the amount of strength that you have. And the road to healing isn't easy. It takes one day at a time, but it does become easier. Stay prayerful. If you are religious, stay prayerful. That is what has carried me through. God has carried me through on that journey to self-healing. I eventually found myself again. I eventually found my happiness again. And I met an amazing man that respects me and that truly loves me. So I'd like to encourage all women out there that God is by your side, even in the darkest of times. And hold on to Him, hold on to His word, and never let go. And then also to the children out there, if you see anything, if you are not comfortable with anything, speak out. There might be people that will not agree or will not listen, but continue speaking out. Don't be afraid. There are people that really care and that will step up and protect you.
Sometimes in the black culture, we do have this feeling as men that we have more powers over the women. But that is not the situation. For you to be with a woman, it's a relationship. It's a one-to-one. There is no need for you to beat a woman. If your woman says no, it's no. If your woman says enough is enough, then enough is enough. Now, when I was growing up, my mother always told me, my son, never you force yourself on a woman. My son, never you beat a woman. I do think those are wise words coming from a single parent. I would like to call all of you today to join us on this project. As a man, never you raise your hand on a woman. As parents, we have the power to change the world. And it's all about how and when we are willing to make that change.